I'm feeling that I need to get further right with my foot to force the ball more over. So let's go 5, 4, let's go 3 board. I'm going to stand 3-6, okay? 3-6. That's 5. And it actually went too high. Whew. I thought it might hold pocket, but it didn't. So I missed a little right and it overreacted, which means that I have some pushback from over there. But I really want to get the shot correct because I don't like that the shot has gotten tough right now. So this is what happened in the last video is when the oil's fresh and the back ends are snappy, you can do a lot of good things. But once you start throwing some balls and you tear the oil off the front, deposit some in the back, create some carry down, you run into some trouble. So let's see what we can do here. So we're going to go 5, 4, 3. Let's go 3.5. Try to hit 6. That's better. What's it going to do? It just keeps, you see, it just keeps coming in late. Because it's reading the dry and burning up in the front, and then it's making it across, but it's just not doing a very good job of getting all the way back because it's lost too much energy. Because I'm playing in a very dry part of the lane. So I think what I need to do, unfortunately, is move further right and keep forcing the ball over there. And I'm wiping the ball. So, all right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. So now I'm on 2 board. Still playing 6. Trying to force this ball in. That's got to get in there. Yeah, and see the problem once I get over that far with this ball is that it's not going to hold the line like the old ones. The old ones can let me just throw them straight to the pocket, but this ball is going to leap once I start doing that. So that's the danger of using a ball like this. So what do you do? How can I get this ball to strike? Let's go back. It was striking early on, right? Because there was good oil in the front and there was nice and clean in the back. So let's do this. We're going to go back to 4 board and play 7 and not get into that dry. And I'm going to aim a little closer to me. Oh God, that's a terrible shot. Yeah. Way to the right, I missed. Way to the right. And that cannot be done. I'm sorry guys, it's frustrating. I'm not hitting my target very well. I got to focus on staying more upright. That's basically what the problem is. I'm falling over to the right, my balance, and that makes the ball go off to the right. So let's try another shot. So once again, I'm going to go to 4 board. I'm going to target 7. I'm going to stay more erect, more upright. See this? More upright, more erect. Keep the balance. There you go. That's all I wanted. Why is that so hard? Shit. Right through the nose. So that ball is reacting a lot. Okay, so let's try something else. Let's go back to the U motion and see what's up its sleeve here, because I was curious why this ball was not working very well. So let's do that. Let's go back to 4 board and target 7 with the U motion. I'll try to make the same shot and see if there's any difference. There, that's a really good shot. Yeah, see, it just leaves the 10. I can hit the pocket all day, but it's not going to carry because even now, I can see the ball is losing energy. It's just losing energy. And even though it hits the pocket, it doesn't have the ability to keep continuing. What to do? All right, let's try something else with the U motion. Let's try something crazy. For the hell of it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to stand on 1 board, and I'm going to target like 3 board. I'm just going to see if I can get it to walk across. really come over there? Nah. I mean, it hit the pocket though, but it's all the energy is expended on the ball. Now, I've used the U-motion on short cutter before, where there's like massive, like 30 mils of foil in the front for like 35 feet. And if I play the 3-board with it, it'll scoot up through like nothing, the ball didn't even try to hook, and then it just grabs and goes crazy across the lane and can hit the pocket really hard. But on a house shot, this ball is dying out. Okay, so for some reason my camera shut off in the middle of me trying to show you something. So what I was trying to tell you was that the U-motion doesn't seem like it has the continuation that I need. I stood on 4, targeted 7. What if I stood on 3 and targeted 7? So let's go and just see if that's all. So I'm in more oil in 7, but I'm just a little further right with my foot. What will that do? Wow. It went high and went crazy. Yeah. Okay. So I think there's a sweet spot in there somewhere. I just got to find it. Let me try again with the U-motion. So let's go 3.5, 7. 3.5, 7. Oh God. Really? So I can miss that far right and the ball will come back and strike? That's kind of cool. I was aiming at 7 and I hit like 4. Getting tired. All right, let's try that again. Try that again. Try that again. All right, here we go. We're going 3.5, 7. 5, 4, 3.5. There. Stay more upright, Steve. There you go. That's more what I wanted. And it does that. Wow. So I make the good shot and it's garbage. But I miss way the hell right, and it's like high flush and strikes. Why is it so hard? All right, let's try one more with the U-motion. Okay, so I'm curious. Why did it strike when I missed right? So let's do that. So let's go 5, 4, let's go 3.5, and then play like 6-board. What about that? What are we going to do about that? It's going to strike barely. Okay. So the ball likes a little more friction, so it wants me to be a little further right. It is losing energy, so that's why that 10's going late. I need to get the ball higher flush. So what should we do? So we go 5, 4, 3.5. What if I go 3 and I just aim a little further up the lane on 6? Like there. What's that going to do? There you go. Okay. Whew, that was a lot of work. Okay, so basically I moved half a board right, so I'm standing on 3. I targeted 6-board, but I targeted about a foot or so past the arrow, so that the idea is I'm actually forcing the ball through the front a little better so that it doesn't burn up so early. One of the tricks of bowling that I found for urethane bowling, I don't know if it works for resin, but for urethane it works pretty good, is that if you want the ball to read the lane earlier, look before the arrows and aim at a target before the arrows. If you want the ball to hook later, aim at a target past the arrows. So let's repeat that shot. Hold on one second. Okay, let's repeat that shot. So I'm going to stand on 3. So 5, 4, 3. I'm going to stand on 3. I'm targeting 6, but I'm targeting 6 about a foot past the arrows. like kind of there. Whoops. Okay. But still a good result, right? In league, hey, I left one pin. Big deal. I can live with that, right? So the U motion is looking pretty good right now, playing from the right. I'm actually kind of pleased with the smoothness of it, the control of it. Can I make spares with it? That's a good question. Let's try this. So, okay, let's just see if I can make a spare. Apparently not. Apparently not. Too much oil in the middle. Too much oil. So for spares like that, I'm going to need to go aim further left. So that's how shiny this ball is. That it's literally a spare ball, but it's a spare ball with a little action in it if you play it from the right. So let's do that. So let's go back out there. I'm wiping the ball. I'm going to go back out to 3. 5, 4, 3 board. I'm targeting 6, about a foot past the arrows. That's perfect shot. Yikes. And it just overreacts. So I'm seeing kind of an over-under problem right now. Basically, I have to be like really perfect to get the ball to go where I want. So that's not what you want. That's not desirable, is it? You have to be perfect. Let's try. I'm just curious. This is just for fun, guys. Just for fun. Just to see what balls do. Okay, I'm going back to the RG. I'm going to go 5, 4. I'm going to stand 3 at 6. I'm going to like make the same shot with this RG thing. Uh-oh, how about not? How about not? How about miss 4 boards right and get that? That is not desirable. That is not desirable at all. So, let's go back to the RG. Try to not miss a mile right. The thumb on this ball is a little different, so kind of stuck and flew off. So let's see. So we're going to go 5, 4, 3, right? 3 board, playing 6. Here we go. Let's see what happens. See if I can hit my target this time. That's a really good shot. Yeah, and it's just too weak a ball. Too weak a ball. That's a weird spare. That is a weird spare. All right, let's go back to the Grizz. So here we go. I'm standing on 4, targeting 7 with the Grizz. There you go. 5, 7. Missed a little inside. Missed a little inside. And you get a 5, 7. Obviously, that is not what the doctor ordered, right? But, so before I missed a lot in, and I struck, but now I miss a little in, and you get a 5, 7. All right, let's try this again. We're standing on 4, targeting 7 with the Grizz. That's a good shot. It struck, but it was just so late. So late. It's just not getting up to the pocket. All right, let's try the same shot with the Cobalt. Same shot with the Cobalt. Okay, standing 4, targeting 7. Uh-oh. Missed a fraction inside. Still hit pocket, no 5, 7s. That's a good sign, I guess. The problem with urethane on a house shot for someone like me is that there isn't any margin for error. So on house shots, the whole idea of a house shot is you miss right, it comes back, you miss inside, it sits there. And so it kind of funnels the ball to the pocket. And then using the right rotation, speed, rev rate, and modern tech balls like reactive resin balls, which do all kinds of amazing and crazy things, it can produce very high scoring, right? Even for bowlers that are like terrible bowlers, right? Who can barely make a spare, who have terrible form and look like complete jokers out there, these guys are shooting like 270s, right? But unfortunately for someone like myself, with a 1960s style game, the house shot is pretty much just a little less hard than a sport shot. 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to stand on 4, target 7 with the crimson, which is also known as the red hammer. I really like that ball. What I like about the ball is that you can see how smooth it is. It's like reading the lane, gluing to the lane, but it's just floating over in a very subtle fashion, very continuous. There's no sudden leaps in the back. It doesn't like go a long way and then do something, and it doesn't do something super early and then just kind of bail and don't do anything. It's like doing something through the full length of the lane. And because it's a two-piece ball, it just has a lot of energy. A lot of energy. I think it's probably the best of all my urethane balls. Let's try it again. So once again, what I'm trying to tell you is that for me, bowling on a house shot is almost as difficult as bowling on a sport shot. See? So I miss a little bit inside and you get a 5-7. So you're screwed, right? That's the way it is on a sport shot. Now, the problem I have on a house shot compared to a sport shot is this. On a sport shot, if you miss right, it ain't coming back because there's too much oil over there. If you miss left, the ball like goes crazy and overhooks, right? So you got to find the sweet spot between it ain't coming back and it's hooking way too much. So you try to find that in-between area, right? On a house shot for me, it's different. If I miss right, yes, generally it doesn't come back because it burns up out there unless I really shine the ball. But if I miss left, it ain't overhooking, it ain't doing nothing. It's just going straight and leaving a 5-7. So for me, I need to play in the dry area. I need to find the margin between too much oil on the left and not enough oil on the right. So I have to find that little sweet spot. So for me, I have about a 1, maybe 2 board area on a house shot, which is about what you get on a sports shot, maybe a little less, but it's just a different. So I'm standing on 4, targeting 7, trying to keep away from the oil on the left. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, and again, I missed left into the oil and you get another pocket split. So every time I miss left into the oil, it's going to leave a pocket split. Was that a huge miss left? No, that was like maybe a board. But that's all it takes to be total fail, right? So even though I'm targeting 7, if I hit 7.5 or 8, you get a disaster. So then you have to question your target, because if you have no miss room left with your target, but you have some miss room right, that's difficult to play like that. So now I'm going to have to move my target right, because I need the miss room left to 7. So here's 5, 4. So I'm going to stand on 4. I'm going to target 6. Over there, and hope it doesn't overreact. Which it does, and it splits, see? So now, if I try to play further right, the ball's going to overreact. So it's like the opposite of a house shot. I mean, opposite of a sport shot. So a sport shot, you miss right, it don't come back, too much oil. You miss left, it overhooks. On a house shot, for me, it's like if I miss a little right, it could overreact or it could not come back at all. And if I miss left, it's going to do 0. So this is the trap. So how do I figure out how to get this ball to work right? Well, it seemed like 7 was a good target because it won't overreact. But 6 has the dry I need. So maybe what I can do, so let's move back. So let's go to 5 and also play 6. So that way it doesn't go crazy. I'm trying to hold the ball off slightly. Or out there. There. Okay, so you see what I did. I could see that it was dry enough on 6 that the ball was going to grab and start going across, and it would go high like you saw and leave that split. So I simply moved my foot 1 left. So instead of standing on 4, I stood on 5, and I threw at 6, and that one board was enough to hold it off so that even though it read the lane pretty strongly out there and came across, it hit the pocket. I mean, think about it. Over 65, 70 feet away where I'm standing, I moved 1 inch so that 60, 70 feet down the lane, the ball could move 1 inch and be better in the pocket. Isn't that insane to have to do something like that? All right, so here we go. Standing on 5. I'm going to target 6 again and see if I can hit my target, first of all. That's a little inside. Yeah, it was almost an 8-10. Yeah, see, I missed just a little bit inside. So it didn't see the dry long enough to read the lane properly. Now think about this. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm literally missing like tiny little amounts one way or the other, right? Half a board there, maybe a full board. And those shots are no good. But that's 1960s bowling for you, friends. That's where you have your 1 board, your 1 ball, and you just figure it out. And that's it. And that's why those guys that were really good, they were like so good. And the rest of us average league bowlers at that time were like all 150 average and stuff like that. If someone had a 180, they're like, Jesus, he has a 180. You know, that's how hard it was. All right, let's try this again. 5-6. Uh-oh, missed a little inside. Yeah, and see, it just doesn't, if you missed like a little bit inside, you see how it just doesn't hook at all? I mean, and that was not even way over in the oil. That's just into slightly more oil. So the ball is very condition specific. It needs some dry to work, because in the old days, these balls dealt with very little oil volumes. Trying to find that on a house shot and be consistent at it is difficult. Okay, let's try the Cobalt, which is a stronger ball than the Grizz. And let's just try the same shot. Standing on 5, targeting 6. Just wondering. There you go. What's it going to do? It's going to leave a 5-7. It's because it read the lane earlier. You could see that the ball started rolling pretty soon, and it just was like, oh, I'm all out of gas. And that's urethane for you, friends. Urethane on house. That's why they don't recommend it. Now, what's the difference between a urethane and reactive ball on a house shot? Reactive balls skid through the front. They have some kind of thing in their chemistry that lets them not really read the front of the lane like a urethane ball does. They get through the fronts, conserve energy, and then when they see that dry, they respond aggressively by driving across. This allows them to retain a lot of energy, create a lot of entry angle, have the ability to really hit the pins hard so that a lot of those bad pocket hits will strike and carry or leave makeables. But what's on urethane, you're trying to split boards. You're trying to thread the needle. You have to be very, very, very accurate, very consistent, and on top of your game week in and week out to score well with urethane, unless you have like a shitload of revs and all this other stuff. But if you're a 1960s bowler like myself, you just got to be good. So let's try this 5-6 business again. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move the target to 7. Right there. And again, it saw too much oil, and it just didn't really hook. So that was the difference. So before I was on the dry and it hooked too much and died, and now it didn't hook enough. Again, we're talking literally 1 inch difference between where I threw them. So that ball ain't working for me. I need a ball that provides margin. Okay, let's go back to the U motion and compare that to the Grizz. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to stand on 5, target 6, and just see what the U motion does. What's that going to do? It's going to look like super good. Super good. So we're standing on 5, targeting 6. There's a good shot. And then it just flat tens. See how annoying that is? That is so annoying. I mean, I liked where I threw it. Just why, what was the teeny little baby variation in what everything I did that resulted in that flat tin? Or ringing tin, or whatever the hell kind of tin it was. Okay. So we don't want a ball that you're forced to do like all these minute things. We want a ball that gives you like a little bit of room. All right, so let's go to the red hammer. I'm going to stand 5, target 6, the same as I was doing with the U motion. Go. Boom. Look at that. That is so good. That is the ball. That is the ball. All right. Let's wipe the oil off the red hammer. Do another shot like that. Standing 5, targeting 6. Uh-oh. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, so I missed, I kind of dropped the ball and it maybe come up the back and I missed a little left. But yet the ball was in such a forward roll that it didn't really matter. So what I'm saying is I made a pretty bad release and I still struck. I missed left and I still struck. That tells me that this ball is providing me the most margin for error because it's making up for a lot of my mistakes. Let's try 5, 6 again. Red hammer. That's really perfect. That was a really good shot. That one I was happy with. And the result was another strike. So basically, when you find a ball that gives you like some wiggle room and still hits that hard. So I think the red hammer is really the best of my urethane balls at this point. I've tried them all on these stupid house shots. Standing 5, targeting 6. Will it get in there? It will. Even with a man walking by, I still was able to maintain my superior concentration and thus strike for success. That's 4 in a row, isn't it? I'll tell you what. I think that's pretty much it. I think I showed you what I wanted to show you. Bowling, so to close this video, bowling with urethane on a house shot is hard. When you are a bowler like me with an older style, where I'm a full roller, I'm throwing the ball very straight, I don't have a lot of revs, I don't have a lot of ball speed. I'm basically playing an accuracy game. Using urethane provides control, and the right urethane ball can provide some carry, but I don't really have any margin of error. Now, if I was using resin, would I be better off? I have tried resin. The problem I have with resin is that resin really responds in the back of the lane very dramatically. So because if I'm trying to throw the ball very straight and accurately, it looks like it's going to make it, and then it jumps at the last second, and so it goes away from the pocket. If I move inside and try to throw away from the pocket to try to get it to curl around and come to the pocket, because I don't have tilt, because I have zero tilt and my ball is very forward, it doesn't come back, right? So it's a very weak thing to do. So I haven't had much success with resin. Generally, I've just used urethane because at least I know I can throw straight to the pocket and then just try to make my spares and get out with whatever, like a 180 or whatever. And that's pretty much it. Now, noted, I'm bowling on a lane by myself using only urethane, so I am creating some carry down. There is some burn off in the front. If people were bowling on this lane with resin, they would be stripping the oil off like crazy, lowering the volume, and my shot would have to change. I might be playing 7 or even 8 board because they've like torn all the oil off those areas, right? So it's always a challenge bowling with urethane in my style when people are using resin, because they can make the shot very difficult because of the way they're stripping the oil off, right? They may want to complain that, oh, urethane's putting carry down. Oh, it's like, no. Your balls are taking the oil away. There isn't any carry down. If you want to know what carry down is, come with me to Sport League. We'll bowl on the 32-foot wolf pattern, and you will see what the hell carry down is. That were 35 mils of oil, 32 feet, and the first ball you throw leaps into the left gutter, and then after 4 shots, they don't seem like they even want to hook. That's carry down offense. What we get on a house shot, that's not carry down. That's just nothing. So anyway, that's my urethane video. I hope it was informative to you. It taught you some things, and also taught you some things about being a full roller. Now, I do know some full rollers that throw the ball very fast and have very high revs. In fact, there was one full roller in my Sport League, which is the most powerful bowler I've ever seen in my life. He's 6'4", about 25 years old. He throws a full roller with 650 RPMs. We measured it, 650 RPMs at 20 miles an hour. He makes McCune's son look like, some open bowler by comparison. His ball is so powerful, it's ridiculous. Pins fly everywhere. We're always having a bunch of pins like deadwood everywhere when we bowl with him. It's like, it takes a long time to get through the session because there's so many deadwoods. When the lane breaks down, he literally is standing in front of the left gutter, and he takes one step and lofts the gutter to get his ball to the pocket. That's how powerful he is. That's a super full roller. I'm the opposite of that. I'm like the way they played in the 60s, someone like Billy Hardwick, who I'm just playing the track, rolling the ball straight to the pocket, depending on my accuracy and consistency for score. That's the way the game was played in the old days. That's pretty much all I have. I'll have to look into some resin options and see if there's a way to optimize a resin ball to provide me a straighter course, but maybe more energy retention in the back. I don't know. I got to look into that. But for now, it looks like the Red Hammer is performing the best of my urethane balls. So I'll see what I can do with that over the next few weeks. All right. Take care, my friends.